topic of tonight's discussion is around money and how to achieve financial freedom and how to build successful business. I think topic is how to make a multi-million business just from an idea. I have done it 3 times, and I think I've been very lucky or blessed in my life, and that's what I want to share with you. I think achieving financial freedom is an important thing for all of us. Without financial freedom, we cannot have other freedoms. But it's important to have all other freedoms, not only financial freedom. And financial freedom is, if you compare financial freedom to, I don't know, intellectual freedom or spiritual freedom or physical freedom, they're all important and almost equally important. And we have to pursue all those freedoms at the same time. We cannot neglect some of them, because if we neglect our own physical body, what's the point of having money if you're unhealthy or sick, or if you're unhappy spiritually, unfulfilled, or if you're not intellectually developed, if you're stupid, there's So 3 stories of achieving building multi-million business, just from an idea. So last one is trading in stock market, or investments and buying and selling things, which I've done for about the last 10 years of my life. And I've spent very little time doing it, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day. And I've made over 100 million rands. So most of my time I spend working at Regenesys and doing lecturing, and management, all other types of things. But very little time. So 99% of time I was working at Regenesys, but doing only 5% of my time, I made 100 million rands. I know it sounds maybe arrogant. I hope you don't see this as arrogant. I'll try and be like, genuine and sincere, 100%. I have nothing to prove. I only have one desire: to help you, to achieve your own financial freedom. So about 10 years ago, I asked myself the question: How do most of rich people in this world? How do they become rich? How do they become billionaires? How did Warren Buffett become billionaire? How did George Soros become billionaire? Donald Trump and Saul Kersner and all of these people. And I realized one thing they did: they bought and sold something. So Saul Kersner bought hotel and sold, bought another one, sold, got investment, built Sun City, sold it. So if you buy and sell, you can make money. Very simple principle, Sorry, I'm going to such a basic level, but it's important to understand this. The second question I ask myself: where is the most of money? And I realize it's in the stock market. It's billions, billions, and billions. Each of us, who gets salary, 12, 10, 15% of our money goes to provident fund, pension funds, and what happens with that money? Pension funds and stock asset managers, whatever they buy shares in stock market, and they invest in other things. So most of the money is really in stock market, billions and billions, billions. So I ask myself the question: so how can I make money if most of the money is there? Next thing is I must go and be part of it, where most of the money is, and I must just be a little bit, maybe more brave, or smarter, or clever, or something a little bit different, 1% different, and I can succeed, And then I started doing really buying and selling. So I started buying and selling properties, So first property I bought, I was very scared. I was so scared, I thought what's going to happen, if I lose my job. That time I was working at Wits University. I just left my spiritual life. And I had like salary 5,000 rands. I bought a little flat in Killarney, I was so scared, What's going to happen if I lose my job? I'll not be able to pay bond. It's for 20 years, And if I'm not able to pay, I'm going to go to jail, I was so scared. Then after 2 years, I sold this property, made profit of 30,000 rands, It was like an amazing thing, Bought, didn't go to jail, and sold it, and made money, And the biggest thing I realize now that happened is I broke my fear. It wasn't about making 30,000 rands. It wasn't about anything else, but it was about breaking fear. And focus of my talk is really going to be about fear. It's all about fear. So after doing it for 10 times, doing it 10 times was so easy. I wasn't scared. I didn't think I was going to go to jail, And it was just transaction, I know I had to buy in a good area and negotiate good price down. Made, negotiation is important, And then sell it at a higher price, And I had some money now. I realized actually it's so slow and boring, I need something. I need to do more frequent transactions, Because more transactions you do, more money you make, So then I started with unit trusts, So I got a broker, and he did, bought Alan Gray unit trust, and he got his own commission, and I would get like 30% annual return. It was still during good, economic, days before crash. But I had to wait for a whole year to get 30%, return. And 30% is great return, But I was bored, and I decided to do it myself, I took, control of my own money. So fired my broker and I started buying my own shares online myself, normal shares on stock market, And then I realized it's such an amazing way to make money, You don't need an agent. You don't have bad tenants. You do it online. It's confidential. No one knows. You buy a share today. And same day, after 5 minutes after you buy it. So I buy, for example, MTN those days at 80 rands. The same day I put selling for 90 rands, In order to make money, you need to have money. And the more money you have, you can make more money. Now, the question is, how do you get money? Because most of you are locked in 20 years bonds, and cars, and all of this, And banks will tell you, never borrow, to invest, Because obviously banks don't want you to get overexposed, They want you to be their slave for the next 20 years, and you just pay them, no one else, But, you need money. You need to borrow money to make money, So that's what I do. Then I realized, I need to borrow money. So I had house bonds. So I would use money from bond, to make money. Why not? Because I'm paying, 7%, to the bank, but I can make, So I realized, more money you have, you can make more money. You need money. So, for example, if I buy a share for 100 rands, I make 5% profit. I'll make only 5 rands. Now, if I can have 100 million rands, if I make 5%, I'll make 5 million rands. Are you with me? On the same transaction. Okay. Now, how do you get 100 million rands? Now, I realized something in trading investment, something called derivative, where you can leverage. So it's high risk. It used to be called single stock futures, now mainly CFDs, contracts for difference. You borrow money to buy, so you give deposit, 10, 20%, and you leverage 5 or 10 times, So if I have 10 million rands, I could now basically trade with 100 million rands. Or if I have 1 million rands, I could now trade with 10. Are you with me? The principle is very simple. When you buy your house or car, let's say you want to buy a house for 1 million rands, bank will ask you a deposit of 10 or 20% depending on your risk profile. So you need to give 100,000 or 200,000 deposit. Are you with me? So let's say for 100,000, you're getting now asset for 1 million rands. It's a leverage 10 times. Are you with me? Are you with me? So I could do the same. So instead of buying a house, I can say I want to buy a share of MTN. Use 100,000, give me a million. Are you with me? I still pay interest on it. The thing is, I'm not paying this over 20 years. I'll sell this share after 1 month, and I'll just pay maybe 1% in interest and commission charges. And because I make 5-6% on transaction on profit, 1% I can pay, interest and commissions and charges. Are you with me? Okay. So that's what I've done. And I got really involved in derivatives, but they're high risk, and they're really high risk, because it's the same way. Basically, when you make profit 5%, basically you're leveraging 10 times. So actually, the profit becomes 50%. At the same time, if share goes down 10%, if you don't have enough cash, you can lose everything. So it's high risk. Just some principles. You need money to make money. You need to take risk. Every time you buy and sell, you break fear. And what I say to people, the first thing that comes is really, it's about breaking fear, because fear is what is blocking us,